This is an urgent message to America and the world to sound off on the truth. Make no doubt the next war coming is on food. 15-minute cities, civil war to weaken USA, biosurveillance, mind control, remote assassination, poison in food, air, water, robot police, rolling lockdowns, curfews, replacing live births with artificial government-owned womb centers, Bill Gates land grab and no more independent farmers, no independent free speech, biometric ID, social credit system, ability to freeze people's monetary assets over a Facebook post, imprisonment for wrong viewpoints on social media, doctors continuing to murder and push bioweapon cancer-causing vaccines made by DARPA, CIA, DOD to experiment on the public, children and newborns requiring clot shot vax, collapsing the dollar and moving financial assets overseas and out of the dollar to gold. Russian ruble if the war destroys oil routes, ruining future children's minds with drag shows by grown men and trannies at elementary schools, legalizing transgender mutilation of kids' genitals at age 9, killing off livestock over fake bird flu fears and climate hoax to starve us like Stalin did, setting fire to over 270 food processing plants in USA in the last 4 years to starve us, coming for the guns, satanic ritual abuse, blood sacrifice of children, supporting and funding the genocide of the Palestinian people, funding over 30 bioweapons labs in Ukraine that Russia for over 10 years had warned USA to close down. Genetic engineering to permanently change the human genome and make us GMO property like they're food and sterile. And the list goes on. The patents go on proving it. The whistleblowers prove it. The leaked documents prove it. World War III will make World War II look like kids playing in a park. And we are about to see mass die-offs. Better have food, solar, generator, and protection if and when that grid goes down. Zuckerberg, like Musk, Gates, and all others, buying up million-dollar bunkers underground all at the same time, should be a reason. Lord Almighty, come swiftly. I also wouldn't mind a hidden secret garden forest. By this time, I found a guy that commented all of this one comment, what I'm about to say. And I think the guy solved it. COVID-19 was nothing more than a non-existent farce to enable emergency measures and to condition and prepare populations for global governance and totalitarian control. The jabs were also intended to injure, kill, and maim as many as possible. Globalists are doubling down on their divisive efforts and trying very hard to radicalize each division against each other to cause civil unrest. Here in Canada, or as the globalists and UN would like to rename us, O100. How else could they ever justify utilizing the UN blue hats against the people? They are here already on our soil, ready and waiting to be deployed, and will have shoot-to-kill orders for any dissenters or violent aggressors. Of course, now that the inoculation uptake has dwindled and the COVID narrative is crumbling, it's time for part 2 of the plan which is to stage a world war starting in Ukraine, Russia, and Taiwan, China, so that the Five Eyed Nations militaries will be deployed while their own countries are radicalized and invaded by UN forces. Don't be fooled. This is all planned and well documented like all wars before. Putin is just another well-established alumni of Ku Klux Klan's future global leader globalist indoctrination program like the vast majority of other leaders around the world, and Jinping is in bed with the WEF too, where he is often given the first chance to speak. What they really don't want you to know, though, is that absolutely nothing has changed, and just like always, the Vatican and the Crown are the ones running the show and pulling the strings of all the puppets behind this charade. Why is it, do you suppose, every nation has done everything possible to double down and then double again their attempts to divide and radicalize their citizens, causing civil unrest and trying their very best to cause violent clashes, riots, and attacks? Of course, they're going to do everything they can. Radicalization, division, and civil unrest is essential to their next move. Peace, unity, solidarity, patriotism, and nationalism is the biggest threat to their globalist agenda, which is why they are doing everything possible to stigmatize these things and poke the bear, so to speak. They will keep increasing the pressure and pushing for civil unrest. Be warned. The UN Blue Hats are already on Canadian soil and waiting to be deployed while actively participating in online trolling, trying to cause division, hatred, and radicalization. The UN is a one-trick pony who uses the same tactics to justify and drive their invasions of nations. Hopefully this serves as an eye-opener for people around the globe as to who the real terrorists are and how they have used, antagonized civil unrest to radicalize nations around the globe, to justify invasions, undermine democracies, local authorities, and bureaucracies under a guise. This is how the globalists infiltrate nations and instill their globalist puppet one world governments and thieve resources. Of course, being the largest nation in the world with the world's largest array of resources, Canada was always a target, as is the entire globe. This is nothing but a global coup d'etat, using regulatory capture to cause civil unrest and radicalization, to bring the UN to all nations and remove governments and install their one world government. Why do you think police forces, healthcare, and governments have been purposely self-destructing around the world? Again, like all other global agendas and conflicts, the Crown and Vatican are the ones behind the curtain pulling the strings, and all the fall men are just paid actors who have been indoctrinated and recruited to pull off their plan. Not only do all those who have been complicit in this need to pay with their lives, the totality of the Crown and the Vatican must be publicly executed. We don't have a lot of time, and every nation needs to do their part to round up the complicit from the top down in the most peaceful way possible. Remember, unity, love, peace, solidarity, patriotism, and nationalism are paramount to this objective and are the biggest threat to their failing globalist agenda. They will beat the dog until it bites, and then blame the dog. It's time now, before it is too late, for local authorities to apprehend and indict all those who have been complicit within their jurisdiction around the entire globe, while their military stands guard to ensure peace is maintained so that trials, tribunals, and executions can take place. We all must unite in solidarity and abandon all our intentionally instilled differences facilitated by indoctrination, subversion, and propagandization, and be courageous together to dismantle this globalist agenda, ending the global coup d'etat and regulatory capture, and indict, try, and fry all those who have been complicit around the globe in a trickle-down fashion. Don't die, America. Love ya, Earth.